So Uganda over the years has done, I would say, a tremendous job in trying to curb gender-based violence. There are so many policies in place. There are several collaborations with various civil society organizations, both international and national, and also at the local level. And but I believe that what I think is lacking is a direct collaboration with the grassroots, with the locals, with the local leadership structures. Of course, with COVID-19 also, it has seen a very unprecedented spike in the number of cases of gender-based violence, which is not a shock because, people have been contained in places they haven't been used to living before. But also that doesn't excuse the act, of course, because, there are always ways you can, manage some of these things that happen in life. So, but again, I think the major gap, and I think what I find lacking is collaboration with the local traditional structures, leadership structures, in terms of coming up with some of these policies, because gender-based violence has everything to do with masculinity. It is a gender issue. So if you haven't looked at the cultural practices that probably put men at a very higher rank compared to women, which of course gives them a perception that they are entitled to certain things and they can do as they please because they are men. And I think this is lacking. And also most of the interventions that I've seen are mostly very gender specific. That means they're always having women alone and they are empowering them. And I think they should take a very, very inclusive approach in terms of sensitizations or civic education, for example, in gender-based violence. That means the men have to come on board, the local leadership structures have to come on board, culture has to be considered. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter whether you're a boy or whether you're a girl, but what matters is, are you able to live a life that you wish without being affected by everything else. So aspects of intersectionality come in, and responsive approaches to gender responsive approaches to policy design and project design also come in. So definitely it's an issue, and I think it's a valid issue because for so long we have had majority of the gender studies or gender policies targeting women. And in that doing, we have created a gap where I feel like some women have taken advantage of this fact, of course, and they have manipulated a lot of things. They have benefited a lot more, and we are creating a very huge gap where we are leaving boys who do not know how to deal with women who are very empowered. For example, yeah, we have men in villages who do not know. Okay, so my wife is a political leader somewhere. I'm a man, but I'm still a man, because masculinity comes in. So we have neglected men for so long, and I think we should, in whatever, moving forward, of course, the men should be part of the process, and not in a way that, they are helping the women, but also in a way that they are also helping themselves, right? That means they have to acknowledge that, they're still important, they're still human, they're still valid, but they can also coexist with women who are empowered as well. The gender transformative or responsive approach is very, very important. And of course, this does not mean that would not acknowledge that there are so many inequalities in terms of, for example, girls' teenage pregnancies. It's mostly girls who are affected, right? So we do not neglect such issues. So a gender transformative or a gender responsive approach basically means that we have to take note of all these issues when we are assessing any policy problem or any problem. For example, in the case of teenage pregnancies, a lot is being done to support the girls. What about the boys, the ones that have impregnated these girls, right? Can we even begin to imagine how they are feeling, how overwhelmed they are? Majority of them have actually gone into drugs, drug use, because no one cares about them, Most of the organizations and government is going to reach out to the mothers, the teenage girls, provide them with, so many resources. But we are forgetting the other side of the story. This girl didn't get pregnant alone. There are those young boys also who impregnated these girls, and now somehow they are expected to act as men, right? Take up responsibility, but they can't. They are way too young to do that, right? So we have to provide resources for such guys as well, for such boys, for example, that are in this. So that's the gender transformative approach, the one that includes all these aspects. You know, it doesn't only look at the girl child, it looks at both sides of the story and provides, you know, solutions to all of them.